Now, this Sunday is International Widows Day. This is a day dedicated to raising awareness of the hardships that are faced by widowed men and women. Local nonprofit Wings for Widows, it's a free resources for widowed people who could use financial guidance and professional resources. So we're happy to have Chris Bentley this morning, the founder and CEO of Wings for Widows. Chris, thanks for coming in with us today.
Thank you.
Why don't we start with your story? Why did you want to start Wings for Widows?
About 7 years ago, I learned just how little access most people have to professional advice when they needed it the most, whether they could afford it or not. Not everyone has a financial advisor or a professional network, and in fact, there are millions every year that do not have access, and I wanted to do something about it.
Just having this conversation, I mean, this conversation is opening the eyes of so many people. In your time with this organization, what have you learned about the organization? I'm curious.
Well, that there's just not enough support out there and not enough awareness, which is, we're thankful for International Widows Day, but we often think that that's about global atrocities and human rights violations, which does affect hundreds of millions of widows and children, but we kind of forget we have our own problems right here in River City. I mean, most don't realize that there are 11 million widowed women in the U.S. today, and 25% of them live in poverty. That's hardship, and most just don't understand that that's a problem in this country.
So how do you help?
Well, Wings for Widows, we provide professional financial counseling and education to widowed men and women to help them regain financial stability. And with financial stability comes family stability, and of course that's terribly important.
Can you give an example, for just a common example of what someone who may be coming to your organization is looking for, the kind of help they're looking for?
Well, often they don't know.
Right. And because sometimes widowhood, it can be sudden or it can be a long time coming.
Process,
That, as well as it's a very different situation for a young widow with children or a more senior widow who is fairly well off. We've actually identified 12 different pathways, and we've created programs to meet widows, and when I say widows, men and women, where they are, because every journey is different. And so what we have tried to do is meet them where they are with a program that best benefits them. And the idea is to empower them and educate them, so they have the confidence to move forward wherever they are on their own from that point on.
It sounds like it goes beyond financial advice.
It does. That's our core. All of our coaches are certified financial planners. They volunteer from all over the country. We have them in about 35 states, but it often does go beyond that. We can't solve everyone's problems, but what we do have is a client services group that then refers them to those groups or agencies or networks that can provide them the services that we don't provide under our roof.
To give them the help they need. Hey, Chris, thank you so much for joining us for this really important conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you can go to wingsforwidows.org for more information.